Okay, I thought I would just break down this process, the process that I use when it comes to writing my book. Now, this is my first book, How to Spot a Chicken Hawk, and how I came about having the idea was I was starting to write another book, another thought, and that was how to write a book in 6 hours or less. I didn't have a topic or anything, so I just started to write and research and all this kind of stuff. And after about 10,000 words, 10,000 words of just basically puking, I came up with the idea that my character, whoever the character is actually afraid to write a book. And this is what I was fearing, what I was feeling. I was afraid to write a book. And all of a sudden these thoughts and ideas like, who am I? Like, I'm not a writer. All this kind of stuff started to happen. Then I came up with the idea of Scotty the Scarecrow. And it was easier for me to develop the book from there because now I have a main character. But it only happened after I wrote 10,000 words of gibberish. Basically blah, 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 blah. I was actually practicing with the dictaphone, or I was dictating into my Microsoft Word program with my web camera. And I was just trying to get good at it by just dictating. And through the process, I was writing all my fears, what I'm afraid of, what I'm scared of, why I can't write a book, all the reasons, all this stuff. And I was tracking some of my patterns as well. Like I would go to sit down and write, and then I'd get up and I'd go do something else and that kind of stuff. So I thought, I might be onto something. So then I thought of how to spot a chicken hawk. And of course, this is based on the concept of when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When your book is finished, the chicken hawk will appear. And of course, there is no such thing as a chicken hawk. So this is a fable, if you will, or a parable. So that is the premise of this book, is Scotty the Scarecrow wants to write a book. All right, so how I break this down is I just set up a goal of 70,000 words. So that's my goal. This is my goal, is to reach 70,000 words. Once I reach 70,000 words, then I'll go back and I'll edit the book, or I'll get someone to edit it, a friend, a colleague, someone I trust, and then I'll get it published. I don't care where, I'll just get it published. I'll do it myself, I'll publish it. So that's my goal. So then the next thing I needed to do is I needed to break it down into something realistic. So my intro is 5,000 words. My middle is going to be 60,000. And then my conclusion is going to be 5,000 words. So that way it looks manageable. It's not overbearing. It's not overwhelming. So then, once I did that, I sat down and I came up with some ideas for chapters, and that's where these obstacles came up. And I'm like, I got to figure out a way to peg these obstacles so that a person could remember them. Because otherwise, everybody's got fear and everybody procrastinates, all that kind of stuff. But I needed a way to categorize all this stuff. So what I did was I came up with basically 16 chapters. So I'm just going to write out. And what I did was, where are we going here? Can't talk and write at the same time. Came up with the idea of 16 chapters, because that way I can break it down into smaller chunks. So there's my 16 chapters right there. And then all my goal is to do is to fill in these containers. So after I labeled the chapters, I won't do them all, but I'll do the first few. First one is the dove. Scotty meets the dove. Then he meets the vulture. Then he meets the owl. Then he meets the bat. And then I think he meets the ostrich. And then the chicken. These are probably out of order. What else is there? Then there's the duck. There's the woodpecker. Whoa. Woodpecker. The peacock is in here. The last is the chicken hawk. Chicken hawk, I know I'm missing a few birds. Oh yeah, the bat. I got that one. Penguin. The penguin. Did I put the peacock? Yep, peacock, the crow, and the raven. So here's the raven. Here's the crow. What else is there? Oh, the hummingbird. The hummingbird was a fun one. Hummingbird. And of course, this is not in order of how I'm going to write my book. And then the eagle. Eagle, and there's one missing. Which one is missing? Parrot. And I'm not sure I'm going to use the parrot. So the book might end up being 15 chapters. I'm not sure yet. So what I did was I just basically divided up those 16 chapters, and each chapter is going to contain 3,700 roughly words. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me just put this here. So there's my 16 chapters, and all I do is fill in those containers. Once they're full, I move on to the next chapter. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You don't have to wait till that container is full before you move on to the next one. But once I get to about 35 to 3,700, I'm done. I'm basically done with that chapter until I get to the editing stage. But for now, boom, I got my 3,750 words, done. Oh, the duck, done. You know, maybe I don't have enough words and I'm only at 2,000, I'm stuck. So then I go to the crow and I knock that bad boy off. So my goal is to just fill in these 16 containers. And once they're finished, I can actually even work on the conclusion container, because I know how I'm going to end it. Scotty basically deals with all the obstacles of all these birds that try and discourage him. And eventually he writes his book, and then the chicken hawk shows up, and then Scotty, the chicken hawk, and the dove show other scarecrows how to write their book. So that's how it ends. I don't have any more detail than that. So all I do is I just write and write and write and flesh that out a little bit more. And then my introduction is basically what I told you, how I came up with the idea, what the purpose of the book is for, who it's for, all kinds of stuff. So that's how I do it. And then I set a goal each day to write 1,000 words. And that could be over a period of 30 days. 60 days, sorry. And you got your 60,000 words. And then you just have to work on your intro and extra. But usually what happens is you tend to get a little bit faster as you get used to the process. So for example, every morning from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. I write for an hour. And usually it's either 1,000 to 2,000 words. That's my goal. So once I hit 1,000, depending how I'm feeling, if it's only 30 minutes, I'll keep writing till I hit 2,000. And before you know it, when you do that, you're going to start knocking off these chapters. every morning, you can fill in a chapter or get very close to filling in a chapter. And within 16 days of doing that, you're going to have at least a rough outline of your 16 chapters and what they're about. Then you can always erase or change them or whatever, but the goal is not to edit your book. The goal is to finish your book. So I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to this. If this makes sense, if this is helping you, let me know that as well. Any of your feedback helps me write my book as well. If there's a fear that I haven't covered in any of this video series, let me know that as well. I would appreciate your feedback. So thanks for watching, and try and spot a chicken hawk today. Go get a chicken hawk. Okay, I gotta come up with a better saying. Go find your chicken hawk. Go spot your chicken hawk. I'll find a way to close this video one day. So there you go.